Good morning, good evening, good whatever it is where you are. This is Tommy, and today you're going to come fly with me. So we are flying Qantas Freight 747 from Brisbane, from Brizzy, my city, down to Sydney today. I thought that it might be a fun thing to do because I haven't played Flight Sim and actually recorded anything or even streamed it because Twitch blocks you from streaming it from console. I'm not sure why, but it's just like one of those blocked games. And then recording to YouTube, well, it never occurred to me that, hey, you know what you could do? You could actually go on OBS and record this and then put it to YouTube. So I figured, why not? Because I do more than just my crazy stunts. So most people know me for all the insane stunts I do in like the F-18 and stuff like that. Like I'll fly through stuff and do stupid things and not crash. Try not to crash anyway. Most people don't realize how hard it is to do those things because they haven't played Flight Sim. They don't realize how difficult it is to control aircraft and that sort of thing. So most people are kind of like not impressed. Like they'll go, "Oh, that's cool," and they'll think like that's neat, but they don't realize the gravity of it, I guess. But yeah, so first things first, we're gonna go fly and go from Brizzy to Sydney. So let's go. We're going to autopilot most of the way there. I'll probably do some cuts because it is a 2 hour flight. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a 2 hour video. But I will probably do some cuts and stuff so the video is not as long. But we'll see. We'll see. There's Sydney Harbour Bridge there because I'm flying to Sydney. Look out, Sydney. Here I come. Gonna deliver some mail. We're gonna deliver some mail today. So, just a little tidbit for you guys. If you didn't happen to know, I am a postman. I actually work for Australia Post. So, what's funny about this is I'm actually in Australia Post's Qantas plane delivering mail to Sydney from Brisbane. So I'm actually transporting the mail. So I'm still delivering mail today, which is a weird thing to do on my day off. So here we go. All right, now the plane's going to be switched off. So what we got to do is get this up, get our flight checklist. Okay, so power. Let's go over here. And battery switch is on. Alright, so we'll use our little eyeball. That'll show us exactly what we need to turn on. So we've got to open the cover. Then we press on. No? Oh, there we go. I didn't have the cover open yet. There we go. Battery switch is on. Okay. Now, standby power selector is set to auto. No, auto's the middle one. Okay. Hi. Yeah, that's me. Well, my co-pilot. My co-pilot's talking for me. Okay. Hydraulic. Oh gosh, I don't remember it being this complicated. So these need to be off. Yep, they are all off. Windshield wipers are off. I believe they're off. Yep, they're both off. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to be ticking these off. Stupid me. Yep. Yep. Done that. Yep. Okay. Landing gear is down. Obviously, I mean, we're on the ground. I'm going to tick it. We're supposed to check it. We're supposed to check it. Even though Like, it's obvious that we're on the ground and everything. We need to make sure that everything's in its place. It's actually kind of crucial to flying an airplane, um, especially a giant airliner like this. Now, external power on if available. I probably should request external power while I'm here. Request power. And I don't need fuel. I should have enough fuel for going to Sydney, so we should be okay. Thanks, guys. Okay, power's on. Let's tick that one. Alright, let's look at our pre-flight. Okay, IRS selectors is nav. Yep, so all three of them need to be nav. And right, because we've got three consoles. We've got a right console, center console, and a left console. Yeah, so we'll tick that one off. IRS position set. Well, I think we've already pre-programmed all this in, haven't we? Yeah, all this, it's all set. Bus tie switches are auto. Yep, they're all on auto. Okay. Generator control switches are on. Yep, they're all on. On. It says they're on. APU selector, start, then on. Yep, there you are. Oh my god, why are you not letting me look up further? There you go. Okay. On when available is lit. Okay. Hopefully, we started the engine correctly. Awesome. Beautiful. Now, we don't need external power anymore. So that's great. Alright. Hydraulic demand is off. Yep, those are all off. Hydraulic pump selector. Engine hydraulic pump is on. Those are on. Emergency lights, guard closed. Brisbane ground Clink 9er 72 heavy requesting pushback. Clink 9er 72 heavy pushback. Yeah, that's there we go. Guard closed. Okay. Alright, fuel cross switches are on. Oh wait. Oh, they're already on. So that's open. on, open. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay. So, fuel pump are off. Yep, they're currently switched off.
Clink 9er 72 heavy request to end pushback received.
Anti-ice is on auto.
Clink 9er 72 heavy ready to taxi IFR. Clink 9er 72 heavy taxi.
How do we put it on auto? Oh, it's like the middle one? Ah, okay.
Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 118.0 when ready.
There we go. All auto. Window heat switches are on. 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 Windshield wiper selector off. Yep. Your dampener switches. They need to be on, and they're both on. Passenger temperature select auto. Yep, it's on auto. Flight deck temp is auto. Yep. Cargo temp is auto, which I believe it also is. Trim air switches are on. I believe those are both turned on. Yep. Recirculation switches are both on. Yep. Pack switches are all on, so they're all off, so we need them on. There we go. Isolation valve switches. They need to be on, and they look like they are. Yep. Beautiful. APU bleed air switch. This is our good one. Yep, that is on. Engine bleed air switch is on. Navigation lights are on. Logo lights as required. Well, it's not nighttime, so we don't really need it. Flight director is on. Flight director is on. Yep. Auto throttle is armed. Bank limit is on auto.
Jet 1251 heavy pushback request accepted.
Auto. Autopilot disengage is up. Yep. Landing gear down, we checked that. Auto brake selector, RTO. Parking brake is set. Let's have a look. Yep, it's set. Speed brake is down. That's not what I meant to click on. Speed brake.
Jet 1251 heavy request
is
and push back
down.
received.
So that's apparently down. Okay. Awesome.
Brisbane
Thrust
ground
level
jet
is
1251
idle.
heavy with Alpha ready to taxi IFR. Jet 1251 heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 19er left via taxiway Charlie 4 Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 118.0 when ready. Taxiing hold short runway 19er left using taxiway Charlie 4 Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1 Jet 1251 heavy.
Let's see. If I go here and I just put them up a little bit. Okay, that should be enough. Alright. Flaps are up. Yes, they
Brisbane
are.
ground velocity tree 61 heavy requesting pushback.
Fuel control switch is
Velocity
cut
tree
off.
61 heavy pushback request accepted.
No, we want cut off. Seatbelt selector is on. If you ever wondered why it takes so long to take off when you get in the plane, this is why. Most pilots know what they're doing. Alright. Hydraulic pump is on auto. Okay.
Brisbane ground
Fuel
velocity
pumps
tree
are
61
on.
heavy requesting the end of pushback. Velocity tree 61 heavy request to end pushback received. Brisbane ground velocity tree 61 heavy with Alpha ready to taxi IFR.
Okay. Beacons both.
Velocity tree 61 heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 19er left using taxiway Charlie 8 Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 118.0 when ready.
XPDR. XPNDR. Yeah, that'll be it.
Taxiing hold short runway 19er left using taxiway Charlie 8 Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1 velocity tree 61 heavy.
Pack switches off. Engine 4. Ah, you. Oh, yep. We're going. Hey, look at that. She's going. Alright. Okay. 3.
Brisbane ground Jetstar 904 heavy requesting pushback.
2.
Jetstar 904 heavy pushback request accepted.
1. Alright, that should be all of them. Beautiful. And then they stabilize at this. Awesome. And once they all stabilize, we've got to set the engine to run.
Brisbane ground Jetstar 904 Heavy requesting the end of pushback. Jetstar 904 Heavy request to end pushback received.
Yep, engines are running.
Brisbane ground Jetstar 904 Heavy with Alpha ready to taxi IFR. Jetstar 904 Heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 19 left
APU
using
selector
taxiway Charlie
is
3 Bravo
off.
Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 118.0 when ready.
So that's the auxiliary power unit, so that's off. So what we might do is request power supply end.
Brisbane ground Tamiltech 777, I am done with power.
There we go. Pack switches on.
Taxiing hold short runway 19 left using taxiway Charlie 3 Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha
Flaps
1
set for
Jetstar
takeoff.
904
Okay.
Heavy.
Ah, it's easier if I do this, isn't it? Okay. So we want them set to. I want the flaps.
Velocity tree 61 heavy hold position caution other traffic. Velocity
I
tree
think
61
10.
heavy continue taxi.
10's a good climb. Taxi lights. On. On. Okay. Strobe is on. Landing light is on. Whoops. There we go. Ta-ra.
Velocity tree 61 heavy hold position caution other traffic.
Okay, that's set to ta-ra. Take off. Okay. So we don't need this anymore. The rest is all getting pushback and all that jazz. So what I might do, I might change our view to here. Nice. Actually, what I might do is release our park brake first. Whoop. Apparently, hold on. We'll turn our engines off. Turn our engine down, because apparently our engine was a little too high. Now we'll take our park brake off. Oh, okay, it's just gonna roll, isn't it? Alright. Alright. So if we request pushback.
Brisbane ground Tamiltech 777 requesting pushback.
Brisbane ground Tamiltech 777 no pushback taxi.
No, okay, so we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Brisbane ground Tommeltech 777 with Alpha ready to taxi IFR.
Tommeltech 777 taxi to and halt short of runway 19 left using taxi.
Oh, we're in reverse. That's why that did that.
Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 118.0 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 19 left via taxiway Juliet Lima Bravo Bravo to Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1 Tommeltech 777.
Look at us go. We're moving. Good thing these planes can reverse. But, yeah. This is probably the only place in the airport where you can reverse like that.
Brisbane ground Thai Asia 405 heavy requesting pushback. Thai Asia 405 heavy pushback request accepted.
It seems really slow and really, you know, like a pain in the butt, but trying to maneuver through an airport like this is actually really tricky. Even though it seems like it's going super slow, it's full on. But look at these textures. Look look at what they've done. They must have upgraded this, like really upgraded this, because Brisbane Airport did not look this good before when I used to take off from it. It looked so basic. So they've really done well with the upgrading. Like, that is pretty accurate to what the turf looks like at the Brisbane Airport. Like, I've been to Brisbane Airport plenty of times, and I mean, I've been outside and touched grass, and I can tell you, that's what the turf looks like. That's what our turf looks like in Australia. That's what the turf looks like at the airport. So, yeah, this is pretty accurate to life. Even the palm trees, that's very accurate too. They have them planted all around the airport. Now, we do get palm trees in Queensland, but at the airport, they tend to kind of artistically decorate the place with palm trees, so people get that tropical feel when they are here. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. Look at us, we're heading towards the runway. I can see the other planes and the airport. Good morning, planes. Good morning, rental cars. Whee! Gotta stay on this yellow line. I like to do this particular part of the flight in external mode, purely so that I can follow the yellow line a little easier. You can do it from in the cockpit. There actually is a little special camera, so you can actually see the line, even though from the cockpit you can't see the line. It's actually got like a little camera showing you if you're on the line. So you can do it all from in the cockpit, but I just prefer, one, because it's scenic. It's more scenic doing it from the external view, and two, you know, it's just a little easier, and it's only taxiing. It's not like, you know, it's not crucial. It's not crucial to the gameplay. I'm not a purist. I'm not a purist when it comes to flight sim. I will, you know, I'll do all my flight checks, I'll do all that stuff, but I'm not one of these simmers that's like a full-on purist where you have to do everything from in the cockpit, and you know, it's not valid unless it's sort of like, well, it's still the same controls, it's still the same everything, it's just a different view, which makes it a little bit easier. So whenever it says velocity, if you keep seeing that velocity popping up, that's Virgin Airways. So in Australia, I'm not sure if it's the same everywhere else in the world, but Virgin's air code is velocity instead of Virgin, because Virgin sounds like a lot of different things, and it's only 2 syllables. So they use velocity instead, so it starts with a V still. But because it's like 4 syllables, it's a bit easier to recognize, and it sounds, it doesn't sound like a lot of other words. I'm not sure what words virgin sounds like. I guess version is a very similar word, but it's just one of those things where they decided, nah, we're not gonna. Oh my gosh, is he seriously going slower than me? What speed am I? Oh, okay, I'm going 20 knots. I probably could ease up on the throttle a little bit. Beep beep. You can't beep your horn in an airplane though. Oh my god, dude, speed up. Bruh. See, I wonder if pilots get into fights over stuff like this. Oh my god.
Brisbane ground velocity 1231 with Alpha ready to
I'm gonna hit this guy if he doesn't speed up.
Velocity 1231, taxi to and hold
Does he
short of
really
runway
not
19
realize
taxiway
how
Charlie 8
slow
Bravo
he's
Bravo
going?
Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha
Nah, I'm applying my brakes. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not today. I am not today.
Brisbane ground velocity 771 with Alpha ready to taxi IFR.
We'll just go 1% engine. And,
Velocity
what?
771
He just
taxi to
disappeared.
short of runway 19 left using taxiway
He
Charlie
despawned. After all that, after all the trouble he caused me, he despawned.
118.0 when ready.
Ah. Planes, you can't live with them.
Taxi to and
Alright, well, let's go back up to 5%.
taxiway Charlie Tree Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1 velocity 1231. Runway 19 left via taxiway Charlie 9 Bravo Bravo 2 Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha 1 velocity 771.
Hey, is someone taking off? Bye. Bye. Have a wonderful time. That'll be us soon. Wonder where he's going. Hopefully somewhere nice.
Velocity 1231.
Move, little car.
Caution to Boeing B748 on the taxiway.
Thank you.
Velocity 1231. Continue taxi.
Gets a bit scary when you're driving a big plane like this along, like when you're taxiing a huge plane like this.
1231 hold position. Caution to Boeing B748 on the taxiway.
Because you never know,
1231. Continue taxi.
like, what's going to pop up. And then you don't know if you're going to be able to stop in time.
Roger velocity 1231.
Look, we have roundabouts at the airport too. Only in Australia do we have roundabouts at the airport, as well as on the road.
On the taxiway.
It's hilarious. Can you imagine, like, 3 planes just, like, going around and around and around on these things, like, not knowing which direction to go?
Roger velocity 1231.
We're chasing this car. So when we take off, we will need to go into cockpit view because I need to see if we're on takeoff. Oh my god, no. No, little car. No, little car. Move. Oh. Little car.
Velocity 1231.
Honestly.
Caution to Boeing B748
Get out me way.
taxiway.
When we get on to
1231. Continue taxi.
takeoff, we're going to have to see if I've got where my throttle's set, because there's several throttle positions in a 747. You've got your takeoff, go around, you've got your climb. There's another one, I forget what it stands for, but it's like FLX, I think. I honestly forget what it means, but basically it's like a go fast mode, and then there is your auto throttle, which is your regular throttle for landing and keeping you up in the air. So when we after we've taken off, we go into climb, and then we go from climb to auto throttle. So I need to monitor that, and I can't monitor that if I'm outside the airplane. So yeah, My god, it takes so long just to get off the ground. Like, have you guys been with me this whole time? Like, how long has it taken? Like, honestly, how long has it taken? almost 45 minutes. Almost 45 minutes. I reckon we're going to hit 45 minutes by the time I take off. That's how long it takes to get a plane from switched off to going down the runway. And we wonder why planes take so long when we're at the airport and we complain about it and stuff. The amount of switches. You saw all those switches I had to go through.
Brisbane Tower, Tamiltex 777 ready for IFR departure, runway 19er left.
Yep.
Tamiltex 777 QNH 30.18 wind 189er at 6. Cleared for takeoff, runway 19er left.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 19er left, Tamiltex 777.
Yeah, but what's my height? You haven't given me a height yet. What's my altitude? Like I'm cleared for takeoff, but what's my altitude? Now, if you see down the bottom there, got like your it says toga there. That is that's our little thing telling us. We should have a little. There's a little display that comes up when we're finally taking off and stuff. And it tells us where our throttle is set. Actually, we might use this for a little longer until we can line up. It's so quiet in the cockpit. So what we want to do, we want to put on our brakes, our park brake, go full engine, and then take off. Because this is a big plane. Alright. Here we go. Full throttle. And you can see on the bottom right there, our engines are powering up.
Brisbane Tower, generic Victor Hotel Yankee, Juliet Charlie, ready for IFR departure, runway 19er left. Generic Victor
Alright.
Hotel Yankee,
We are ready for takeoff. Except my cat is trying to walk all over everything, so I'm worried she's going to walk all over that. Okay, let's release the park brake and take off.
Generic Victor Hotel Yankee, Juliet Charlie, line up and wait. Line up and wait, generic Yankee, Juliet Charlie.
Alright. What are we going at? 180? We should be able to take off now. 200. Whoa, okay, I'm sorry. There we go. Autopilot is on.
TowerTac 777, contact Brisbane departure on 123.5. Good day.
Going to 123.5 TowerTac 777. Brisbane departure TowerTac 777 is passing 1,300 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
TowerTac 777, Brisbane departure QNH 30.18 radar contact. Continue.
Brisbane departure TowerTac 777 requests destination change to Sydney.
TowerTac 777 is cleared to Sydney Airport as filed. Squawk 4572.
TowerTac 777 cleared to Sydney Airport is filed. Squawk 4572.
TowerTac 777, read back correct. Radar contact 3,700 feet. QNH 30.18, continue to Sanic turning and following heading 175, resume on navigation climb and maintain 8,900 feet.
Continue to Sanic turning and following heading 175, proceed on course climb and maintain 8,900 feet TowerTac 777.
There we go. 8,900 feet. Are we set to climb? Oh, yep. Flight climb speed. Awesome. Yep. So we're at flight. So that must be flight climb. Okay. So that's all good. Could probably put our flaps up now. Okay. There we go. Now we should be climbing. Let's have a look. Alright. So, we came from Brisbane Airport over there. That's where that flashing light is in the background, if you can see that. This is... Where are we? Oh gosh, we're in the middle of the suburbs. I think we're near Archfield. Maybe. Big field there. Oh, yep, Archfield. Yeah, there's the Archfield Airport. I was right. Nailed it. I was like, this looks like Archerfield. But yeah, it is. That's Archfield Airport. There's the industrial estate. That's Acacia Ridge. That's Willawong underneath us now. Which means that's Inala. Oh, wow. I didn't know Inala had like a weird starfish shape in it. That's cool. So I'm guessing, yeah, that's like Blunder Road and stuff. There must be Blunder Road. But yeah, and that means the golf course is around there somewhere too. But, oh, that's nuts. So I know this area really well. I work in, like, this area here. Oh yeah, that's the Forest Lake shops. So that's Forest Lake. So Nala's over there. That's Forest Lake there. That's so cool. That's the top of the Forest Lake shops right there. That's the shopping centre, Forest Lake. That's awesome. And that's Heathwood. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. So we used to work out of Heathwood, but now we're over at Darra, which is all the way over there. Oh, why are my gears still up? Hold on. My gears are still down. There we go. That'll help us a little bit. Listen, we're a little less aerodynamic. Alright. Alright, let's go.
123.5.
Climbing 10,000, okay. let's change our
8,900 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
10,000.
77 Brisbane, departure QNH tree 0
There we go.
radar contact. Continue to Sanic.
Man, Australia's beautiful. Australia Post! Represent. That's so cool. Such a big aircraft, this thing.
Contact 777, contact Brisbane Center on 121.2. Good day.
Going to 121.2 Tom.
Yeah, so I've got my co-pilot doing all the communication for me because I find it really tricky dangling the controls mixed with also doing all the communications on the ATC, so I let my co-pilot handle that for me.
Radar contact. Continue to
As you can see, you can see how different the terrain has changed from the city to where we are now. Like, we're almost at the outback. We're flying over what I assume is like Cunningham Gap and out near Warwick. It's the kind of terrain you get on the Tablelands. But yeah, it's crazy. So that's a Great Dividing Range there, those mountains. And they go all the way up the coast. And they call the Great Dividing Range because they divide the tablelands with the ocean side. And the ocean side's quite flat, and then the tablelands are a bit higher. That's generally the way it works. Like, they're not that much higher, they're just enough higher that when it floods on the tablelands, it really floods down here. This side of the tablelands near the ocean is essentially a giant floodplain. Like, we really get flooded when it rains really heavy up at Warwick and Toowoomba and wherever. Like, I think there was like the massive floods we had recently. They're out at a place really far out west. Then all the water rushed out down here and flooded everyone else. So, you know. But yeah, that looks like, so over there looks like Warwick and Amberley. I think Amberley's right there, actually. The Amberley Air Force Base. I think that's right out that way. But yeah, if I've got my directions right, I'd say that flat little area there is Amberley, because that little mountain there, I recognize it. That lake, that's Lake Muggera, I believe. So, yeah. It's wild that it's taking us so far out west. I mean, you know, this is autopilot. Autopilot's taking us this way. Where's our map? Map. Which one's the map? I forget which one the map is. Is it this? No, it's Navlog. Camera. Map. I'm an idiot. It looks like a map. Okay. Oh, yep. Okay. So we go west and then can we go further? Okay, we can't zoom out. So yep, and we follow that and we continue. So we're over the outback. And then we cut back towards the coast and then land at Sydney. Okay, cool. Got it now. Awesome. Whoa, that plane's flying backwards. What's he doing? Bro, what are you doing? What? That speed. Well, I don't even know what's going on there. No idea what's going on there. That is ridiculous. Okay. Let's close the map for our sanity's sake. Okay, so he's actually at the airport, but the GPS thought he was out here somewhere. Okay. Alright, let's close the map.
77, you are 300 feet above your assigned altitude.
No, I'm not.
Maintain 10,000 feet. QNH.
That's what I'm at. I'm at...
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
That's what I'm at.
77.
Okay, we better go 3... He's confused. So if we go 9, 7... Oh my god, what?
Brisbane center velocity 901.
What are you yelling at me for?
700 feet, climbing 12.
What's the problem? What's the caution about? What did we do?
Brisbane center QNH 30.
Yeah, I was wondering why the warning light was on earlier. It was because I had my gear down. So what's the problem? Why are we mad? You don't want to talk about it? Okay, fine. Fine. Mountains! Yeah, you can see the range a little better now. So that would be Lake Mugra there. And then here's our mountains. And they go all the way down the coast. I like how I applied for, like, I asked for high, like the you know, high altitude airways, and I'm sitting at 9,700 feet.
130.4
Like,
Tac 777.
it's ridiculous. Like, this is quite low. This is so low that people would be complaining about the noise. Like, there is no way this is okay.
777 Brisbane center QNH 30.20 radar contact. Continue to
Yeah, see, look, I'm telling him, hey, I'm at 9.7, and he's like, no, you're at 10,000. Like, my instruments are reading that I'm at 9.7. He's saying I'm at 10,000. And when I was a little bit higher, he got mad at me and said, no, you're too high. So I'm just gonna stay here. And if he's gonna not be mad at me, that's fine. It's very pretty. I wonder where we are now. It's pretty far out. Like, that's really pointy. It looks kind of like Mount Barney. Wonder if it is Mount Barney. It's hard to tell sometimes. But we're a bit too far south. I think Mount Barney's further north. But it's got that shape to it. It could be Mount Warning, actually. Like on Fern Gully. If you ever seen that movie, Fern Gully, Mount Warning is the mountain in it. I'm pretty sure that's Mount Warning there. Actually, I should be able to check if I put on... I don't want airports. I want... Airport? What airport? Landmarks, fauna... Oh, really?
Goodbye.
No.
Brisbane Center Tommeltac 777
That's
is
okay.
at 9,700 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Although, surely it would give me mountains and stuff.
7 Brisbane center QNH 30.20 radar contact. Continue to apogee.
No, it's not going to tell me nothing. Oh, it's useless. Because normally it has the suburbs and stuff, doesn't it? That's all good. But yeah, I think that might be Mount Warning, just because of how pointy it is and how far south we are. So we're currently flying over the New South Wales hinterland. This is probably Moorball, I think. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. But Moorball looks a lot like this. So it could be that. It could be another country area. It's hard to tell because all the hinterland in New South Wales looks very similar when you get out west. If you look to your left, you'll see nothing. If you look to your right, you'll see nothing. I'm kidding. There's plenty to see. So lots of trees and mountains and rivers, and this is Australia. This is what it looks like. It's not very developed like what you would see in the States or Brazil, for that matter. So when you go to like places like Brazil or China or United States, often forests like this is just straight cleared so that they can put in farming land. But in Australia, we don't do that. And yeah, so most of Australia is like this. Sure, it looks beautiful, but you'd probably die if you tried to hike through this. If the snakes don't get you, spiders will. If the spiders don't get you, yeah, it's hard to find food in the bush. Like a lot of stuff that looks edible is poisonous. And the only people who are really good at finding what's called bush tucker are Aboriginals. So yeah, it's pretty hard to find edible food in the bush if you're not Aboriginal, which is why we learn from Aboriginals when we do bush training like this. So when it comes to fighting on our own turf, we will seek out the help of Aboriginals to learn from them how to use the land, how to track, how to do all that stuff on Australian soil. Because they're the experts when it comes to Australian soil and the bush and the outback. So, yeah, it's interesting. But, yeah, this land is beautiful. But, yeah, it can be deadly if you are foolish. So only the foolish perish. That's basically it. If you're a foolish person and you try to trek through the bush and you're a tourist, you're in for a bad time. You need to go with a group. Man, check out the ray tracing. I only just realized the ray tracing on the wings. And the reflections. That is insane. It makes you really wonder. Like, the level of quality that they put into this game. It's awesome. But yeah, get to deliver the post. So I'm still at work. I might be homesick, but I'm still working. Still delivering the mail. I hope my workmates are proud of me. But yeah, we'll be in Sydney soon enough, and Sydney Airport's awesome. it's a cool airport. You'll love it. It's such an interesting airport. If they make us land from the southern side, you'll get to see. There's a road which goes under the airport. It goes under the airstrip. Like there's like a full blown highway that goes under the airstrip. So like it's it's nuts, but it's a very cool airport. Yeah, so we'll get to check that out when we finally get down there to Kingsford Smith International. So yeah, so we're flying. So we started from Qantas Freight's parking at Brisbane, and then we're gonna land and hopefully taxi to Qantas Freight's parking at Sydney, so we can unload our cargo. Because yeah, we have a lot of cargo to deliver. So sending our mail from Northgate to the airport to Sydney. So yeah, fun times. I have no idea where we are now. Let's have a look at this map. Alright. Oh, we are very far inland.
Contact Brisbane Center on 134.2. Good day.
Going to 1
Yeah, I have no idea where we are.
777.
No.
Center, Tamiltax
No clue.
777 is passing 9,700 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Tamiltax 777 Brisbane Center QNH tree 0.20 radar contact. Continue to Tessie.
That would be Casino, I think. But yeah, most of these are named. Oh yeah, there's Warwick. I think that's Warwick. Yep, it's in line with so a little Warwick airfield. It's in line with Coolangatta. SPE. Oh God, what's SPE? I've no idea. I'm clueless. I've no idea what GLI is either. So yeah, that would be Grafton. Okay, so that's Ballina. Possibly Casino, I'm not sure. Grafton. So we're North Coast. GLI. What's GLI? Oh, man. That's Coffs Harbour. That YCFS. That'll be Coffs Harbour, which is where the Big Banana is. So hold on. Let's move the map down so I can show you. Okay, this is Coffs Harbour. This is where the Big Banana is. This is Kempsey. I have no idea what these places are because I have never been inland. But we're apparently near them. Alright. St. George? No. What the hell is STW? I've got no idea. That'll be Port Macquarie? Kempsey and Port Macquarie? I think that's Port Macquarie, yeah. And then, FST. I'm not sure. Now we're getting down to towns where I'm not sure of the name. Sydney's here, so that we're not that far off. Oh, what the heck is WLM? I'm not sure. See, I would have thought Newcastle would be one of these. But it's not. Huh. But yeah, I have no idea what these are. It's too far inland for me to know the town names. Cause I've only been down the coast, so I've got no idea. But we really aren't far off. We're about halfway. As soon as you get to like Coffs and Kempsey, you're about halfway. So let's put the GPS tracking back on. So yeah, there's Grafton, Coffs, and Kempsey. So when we get to Admar, down here, we're about halfway. So we're not doing too bad. I might actually leave that map up, and we'll just move it to about here. That way we can keep track of where we are. There we go. That's a nice little spot. That way we can keep track of where we are, so we know exactly what's going on. So you guys can see what's going on. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at the clouds. Not a cloud in the sky today. This is today's weather, and today's sunlight and everything. So this is the exact time of day and the exact weather that we're currently experiencing in this part of the world. So yeah, clear skies, cool temperatures, and yeah, beautiful land. But yeah, that's when you get out that way, that's where you've got like your big rolling farms and stuff like that, and not too many, but like your crops and stuff are generally out west. Then you might have orchards in this area, then crops out there, livestock further out. There's a bit of an ecology to it, but yeah. And then bushland here. So we tend not to clear too much bushland, like not more than what we need. So if someone has a property, they might own all of this, clear what's their property or what they need to use, and then the rest is left as bush, because they don't need to clear it. It's just more maintenance, you know, if they clear the bush, because the bush is self-maintaining. So if you clear it, you then have to maintain it. So that's why a lot of Aussies will just not bother clearing it, because there's no point. So it's less about environmentalism and more about laziness, really. I'm kidding. We're not that lazy. We're not lazy, but we are, I guess, resourceful. Like we don't overreach. We don't like to spend more resources than we need. So we tend to be quite conservative when it comes to what we use. Which is funny, because when you hear the word conservative, you think of people who will just demolish the entire bush to build businesses. But conservative really means to not waste anything. So there's no point cutting down bushland if you don't have to, you know. But yeah, so no, it's beautiful. Gotta love this country. I mean, I love a lot of countries, but I don't think I'd ever leave mine. Ah, I found it. So that town that we're right next to with the airfield, it's Glen Innes. Glen Innes, that's why it's GLI. Ah, and the IVL is Inverell. And then Arm, down the bottom there, is Armadale. So if you're wondering where we are right now, we're right near Glen Innes. We're actually almost right over the top of it. We should be able to see the airfield right now. That way. which is probably what that flat spot is there, and that orange line. That's probably the airstrip. Oh, there it is. Right above the plane. Can you see it? That's the airfield. And then the town itself. Well, there's the river. And there's the highway. So that'll probably be the town itself right there. So that's the town of Glen Innes. Yeah, that looks more like a town, doesn't it? That's Glen Innes. So, when we go down this way, we'll probably see Armadale. As we get closer to our halfway point. If you're wondering why so many outback towns in Australia have airfields, it's because we have something here called the Royal Flying Doctors, and the only way to get medical help out here is via a plane, because it takes so long to drive and all of that. So the Royal Flying Doctors will fly all the way out, and they will pick you up from the airfield, and they will take you to treatment in the city, or they'll come out and they'll treat you. You know, it's sort of like the main thing they do is patient transport. So when you're really far in the outback but you need treatment in Brisbane City, they'll come pick you up like an ambulance, and they'll transport you to the Brisbane hospitals. So, you know, it's that kind of thing, or to Sydney or wherever, depending on which city you're closest to and which one you need to go to. So it's a really big part of our airline history. And they're only small little planes. They're not massive passenger planes. They're small aircraft. They only fit a few people in them. It's basically like the size of an ambulance, really. And yeah, that'll speedily take people to where they need to go. So yeah, it's really cool. But that's why you see all these airfields on the map, and you're just like, hold on, what are all these little... Because whenever you see a one of those magenta coloured airfields, that means that they're just a little airstrip. They're like tiny. They're a bush airfield. So it's like, why are there so many? It's so that the Royal Flying Doctors can come in and land. Sure, like there's probably some people with private planes that learn to fly and stuff like that, but for the most part, the Royal Flying Doctors need access to these towns. So yeah, it's a really cool little fact about Australia. But yeah, that's why we have so many little airstrips everywhere. Okay, so it looks like the one at the bottom that says STW. I thought it was weird because when I saw the TW, I thought that looks like Tamworth, but what's the S for? But yeah, no, it is Tamworth. I don't know what the S is for. It is Tamworth. And then, yeah, the GDH is Gunnedah, which is near Tamworth. So yeah, so we're almost at Tamworth, which is where we have the Country Music Festival in Australia. So another fun fact, Country Music Festival is held at Tamworth. So yeah, it's important to Australian culture. And that's why you got a blue airfield. Did you notice that the airstrip was blue instead of magenta? It's a slightly bigger airfield. And that is because, yeah, Country Music Festival. Same with Coffs Harbour, because it's a tourist destination. It's got a bigger airfield as well. It's same with when you look at the Sunshine Coast one. It's also a blue one because it's slightly bigger than a normal airfield. It's not like the size of an international or anything, but it's yeah, it's a big airfield. So yeah, the little ones are magenta. The slightly bigger ones are blue. And then the symbol for international airports is like a totally different symbol. So if we get the cursor back up for a sec, and if I show you, so you've seen small and medium. Now, when you look at Sydney, it looks like the small ones. But I think there's something, I forget what symbol it uses, because I think it has to do with the landing type, like whether it can use what's it called, like radio to land, or whether it can use laser. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly. So it's got a pink one as well. So I'm not sure what the go is with that. I think it has to do with like VOR. That's what I was thinking of. I think it might have something to do with VOR. If you can make a VOR landing, or if you can make like a laser guided landing, or whatever else. I'm not sure. But there we go. So we're coming up to Armidale now. You'll probably see it actually out the left. Should be around here somewhere. Coming up on our map. It's pretty far away, but it should be around here somewhere. Okay. Well, we're halfway. We're about halfway. We're doing okay. And that's the thing, like this stream, I was going to assume it was going to... I thought it would take 2 hours, but yeah, I forgot to factor in the taxiing at the airport. So it's going to be more of a 3-hour recording that I'm going to have to edit down. Because it just takes so long to fly to Sydney. I mean, it takes about 2 hours, but yeah, it's just one of those things. And like our air traffic control, because we're at such a low altitude, our speed is reduced to 240 knots, which sounds like a lot, but this aircraft is capable of a lot more. And if we were cruising up at like 36,000 feet, we'd be going more like 400 knots, you know, like 300 something knots, which is like almost, well, what, like 600, 700 kilometers an hour, or 600 miles an hour, something like that, I guess. Yeah, I think it's double is miles, and then it's like a little bit further for kilometers an hour. But yeah, knots are weird. Knots have to do with water, so it's really odd that they're used for air, but I suppose it's the same kind of concept because you're traveling through something that's, yeah, not solid. So, and it can be hindered and stuff by, you know, different things like how waves hinder you at sea. It's the same with the wind when you're in the air and stuff. So there's some similar concepts there, which I guess is why they use knots. But yeah, it's weird because knots at sea, they like, you know, it'd be a nautical mile. So a nautical mile is like you've traveled a mile, but the amount of like waves you had to travel over, it almost doubles the amount of distance. So a nautical mile is almost like 2 miles. So you have to travel 2 miles to to go a mile at sea. That's essentially what a knot is. So, traveling 1 knot is like 2 miles an hour, essentially, is how it works, because it would take that long to travel that distance with waves and stuff, and like the sea hindering you from getting to where you're going. So that's how that works, which is why it's called knots. So, and the knots in particular, like why it's called knots, like so there's a reason why it's called knots, and how a knot is the same as a nautical mile, but they're not called knots because of nautical miles. They're called knots because they would tie a knot, and then they would let out rope, and it would tell them how far they traveled, and then they'd like tie other knots. So they do like, I forget what it was. It's you'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up. But they'd let out rope, and every knot was a nautical mile, and that's how they would tell how fast they were traveling. It's a really weird thing. I've got to go look it up, but it's something to do with knots in a rope. But yeah, but nautical mile is essentially what that means. So it's pretty much double your regular miles. That's essentially all you need to know. So when it says 240, it's about 480 miles an hour. That's essentially how fast we're traveling right now, which sounds like a lot, really, but it's not when it comes to air travel. Air travel, it's normally like 800 miles an hour, you know, like or 900 miles an hour. It's faster when you get up to cruising speed. So this is just this is excruciating for me, because I'm used to traveling so quickly. But this is the way they wanted me to go. Probably due to air traffic. I mean, there's a lot of planes flying around today, according to the map. So that's probably why they're getting me to fly where I'm at. So yeah, I just gotta go where they're taking me, and that's it. It's really odd though, because when I look at the GPS, I seem to be way off course. But I seem to be going exactly where it wants me to go, so I'm not sure how that's working. Because autopilot's on, isn't it? Yeah, it seems that autopilot's on. So, what's the go? Why is it so off course? What have we got this set to? Set to vectors. But it's not showing us our course or anything. Like, are we way off course? Have we just been traveling off course this entire time? Where's our autopilot? Yeah, autopilot engaged. It's engaged. Yeah, autopilot's on. So we're apparently going the right way. It's just this is the way it wants us to go, which seems really odd because we're out in the middle of the sticks. But yeah, no, the crosshairs are lined up. Everything's good. So yeah, that's exactly where it wants us to be. So yeah, Probably because it's going to swing us around when we get down to Sydney. I've got no idea. Currently, yeah, it wants us to travel at 195 degrees. Not sure why, but that's the way it wants us to go. So continue to Senad. Because like normally that waypoint is there. Senad's near Sydney though, isn't it? Yeah, Senad's near Sydney. So I've got, that's one of the stars. It's one of the stars near Sydney. It's like here. Because there's Meppel. I'm pretty sure Senad is either before. That's Tessat. Pretty sure it's like here. Yaka. I'm not sure where it is. But I know it's on the way to Sydney because I've done this route before, so Meppel, Lanol, and then Tissat, which is right on Sydney. Okay. Normally, they get us to fly out to Dunes or Idbim or Dina, and we fly out there, and then we turn around and come back. One time I had to fly out to Dina, turn around, and then land this way, because there's airstrip here. But yeah, I've got no idea. Oh well. I guess we'll see when we get there. We're finally getting closer to Sydney. It's not long now, but I feel like we're off course by quite a bit, but it's just one of those things where you kind of have to trust the process. So even though it looks wrong, you're like, well, the line's over there. Why the heck am I, why am I here in the middle of nowhere? But yeah, it's one of those things where the computer figured out where it wants to fly to get to Sydney. So all that stuff got programmed in by my co-pilot, in quotation marks, before I got on the plane. So yeah, I've just got to trust that it's all up to scratch. It's completely different to what the GPS is saying, but if worst comes to worst, we can actually just request to land at Sydney. Like, it's not like a big deal. So we'll see how that all works out for us. But yeah, it should be all good. But we'll see. Like, worst comes to worst, we'll just request to land, and we'll just land. But it should take us exactly where we want to go. It's just taking us a very roundabout way, and I think that might be so that we avoid air traffic, and that's why it's getting us to go this way. Because if you can see all the planes traveling to Sydney right now, there's like 3 just in a line that are heading to Sydney that are going to be landing there. And then when you look at like me, think about like how large my plane is, and it's trying to land behind those smaller planes. Like that's yeah, like that's going to be a bit tricky. So it's probably taking us below Sydney and getting us to turn around so that we can land facing north. So we'll see when we get down there, but we are almost there. So there's Meppel, there's Lanol underneath it. So yeah, when we get down to So we can actually see the ocean. If you look out to the left on the horizon, you can see that the horizon is actually water, and then you can see the beach and the land a little bit down from it. Like, it's not even a centimeter of ocean before it hits land, but the ocean is over there, which means that we're traveling the right direction and we're getting closer to the ocean. So as long as it turns us around at the right spot, we should be fine to land.
777 contact Brisbane Center on
There we go. We're going to a different radio now, which means that we're getting closer. Soon we'll probably get handed over either to Brisbane Arrival or Melbourne Arrival, because I don't think Sydney has its own channel. It's either Brisbane or Melbourne. So it still wants us to go to Alton. So Alton must be a different point, separate to the ones listed on our GPS. But that's where it wants us to go. So, and then at Alton we'll be turning. So if we zoom in, so if we get our cursor up and we zoom into the map, we should be able to see where Alton is. Oh, there's a blue line. Is that our GPS? What's that? Oh, that's our radio line. Got it. So if we go down here, we just follow this kind of straight. Let's see if we can find where Alton is. So Alton is a star location, a star point, a star waypoint. I don't know what you want to call it, but normally you get star points around airports, and they are like a 5-digit code that mark waypoints around the airport. So if they want you to fly from like a certain direction, like fly east towards the airport or fly south towards the airport, that's where stars come in. So they might get you to fly all the way down to a star and then do a U-turn kind of thing, and then fly back toward the airport. So Alton is... still haven't found it yet. And we are like way below Sydney now. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure where this is taking us. Because we're very much inland. Because once we hit the GPS point, it'll then make us turn. But where the GPS point is, I've got no idea. So let's have a look. It's not on our map. Like, it doesn't have our map listed. Okay. There's a flight plan. There's our VOR. So let's have a look at our range. Okay. It's just making us fly straight. It has no idea where it's taking us. Why is it doing that? That is the question. So we're at range 1280 nautical miles, and it's still a straight line. So that's no good. Okay. Waypoint, airport, position. Stars. Yeah. Okay, so we are. And that's at the furthest range. Okay. So we might have to... I think when we requested IFR, that's when it screwed up.
Tommeltax 777. Cancel IFR at this time.
9,900 feet.
Alright, so what we're going to do... Gonna take it off autopilot for a little bit.
Roger, Tommeltax 777.
And head towards Sydney. And then... we're going to retry our IFR once we're headed in the right direction. Zero, 9, 5. Come on. We're almost there. So we're going to have to take the plane in manually from here, because for some reason my autopilot is gone wacky. Okay, 0905, and we need to go up to 10,500 feet. Let's change this to... where is it trying to... it's trying to take us... where's the autopilot trying to take us? Back that way. Yeah, no, let's turn it off. Actually, I got an idea. Let's trick the autopilot. So, if we set our heading, right? No, that's our speed. We don't want that. We set our heading. That should make it. Haha. I think I fixed it. So we'll manually change the instruments, and we just won't follow the IFR, because for some reason the GPS wants us to go to Antarctica. I've got no idea. Yeah, so ATC is making us go back towards the GPS line on the map, which makes sense. Like, that's where we should be going. So they're basically taking us straight east, really. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see that line. And then I'd say as we get closer, it's gonna make us head due south a little more. Okay, we should be able to see Sydney now. We're only 53 miles out. Alright, I might turn off autopilot for now and try to take her in manually. We're getting there. We're getting there. We just gotta manually take her in because the game's decided to play up on us. And now we're approaching Sydney. So if you actually look right out in front of you, you'll be able to see the city of Sydney. And soon we'll be coming upon the airport. So yeah, won't be long now. We'll be landing very shortly. There's the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House. Look at us. We made it. Now we just gotta land and then the mail will get delivered to Sydney. Yeehaw. And there's the airport, finally. So as long as we get some guidance to land, we should be all good. Perfect. That is the runway which they told me to land on. That's also the runway which I wanted to land on because that'll take us to where we're parking. So alright, our gears are down. We just got to turn around and go land. Oh man. That was a good landing. That was a quick landing. I definitely didn't butter that one. But still counts. It still counts. Where does it want us to go? Yeah, no. I'm happy with where we parked. We just gotta actually get in the car park. Well, plane park. Wait, the big wheels turn too? Oh my god, they do. That is so cool. And we're done. Okay, let's turn the plane off and then we're done delivering all the mail. So let's get our Granda services. Let's get our ramp connection.
Sydney Ground Tommeltax 777, could you please send a ramp?
Tommeltax 777, a ramp is on its way.
Alright. We don't have baggage or anything like that. Okay. I don't know if we even need a power supply. So we'll go back to clearance. Okay. So let's go inside our plane. That is us done. We have landed. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining me. We had a good time. Flew from Brisbane to Sydney. Delivered the mail. It was good. It was awesome. So yeah, thanks for that. I figured I'd just give this a go and do some editing down and testing out the sound and stuff like that so we could see, you know, how it would all go if I just did one big long recording with the new sound settings. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the flight and I'll see you next time. Bye.